Name ist Boros und ich bin hier der Hausherr und habe das Vergnügen, hier arbeiten zu dürfen. Und hier ist das großartige Buch entstanden. Und wir feiern hier nicht ein Buchlaunch, sondern eine kleine Trauerfeier. Die deutsche Ausgabe ist bis auf 20 Exemplare, die da liegen, vergriffen. Also
Boros, the Villa Aurora family. What a great day this is, and thanks again that we're allowed to be here. A year or two ago, in front of Villa Aurora, I ran into Barbara Schönberg. Some of you may know her. And Barbara is the daughter-in-law of Arnold Schönberg. And in front of the Villa Aurora, she said, "Oh, I have to come here all the time." Ich muss hier oft herkommen, because in there it's civilization. Out here, it's just America.
Dear Claudia and Jakob, you achieved really something remarkable with this book. You are capturing and portraying something that is in fact intangible, and that is bringing people together through their commitment and dedication to the arts, to human rights, and to freedom of expression. And in collaboration with DISTANZ Verlag, as we already heard, you have created a collection of insightful texts and memorable images that beautifully illustrate this valuable work of Villa Aurora. And I'm the very lucky owner, thank you Jakob for this, of this book, and I'm very, very happy that I can preserve the memories I made at Villa Aurora and bring them back to life whenever I will open this book, Pink's cover.
What's your favorite anecdote in the book? Maybe one that you didn't know before, because I realized you basically know all the anecdotes in the book, which is really terrible for someone who hasn't been in the institution for so long. Then you read it and you realize there's so much going on, and Claudia says, yeah, I've heard this anecdote for the first time 25 years ago. So is there actually an anecdote you hadn't heard of before?
I can't say an anecdote, but I would like to mention a photograph, and that was one that I hadn't seen before, and it was of Heuwagen, who of course is, we call her our founding mother, and Martha Feuchtwanger, meeting, and of course the friendship of the two of them is at the core of what Villa Aurora would become. And Marianne describes how Martha kind of was planting the seeds very carefully of what then would be the preservation of her legacy. And I have to say that was also something that I was very moved by, because I'd heard a lot about these talks and this friendship, but I'd never seen kind of physical evidence in this picture.
I remember I became president of Cal Arts at just about the moment that the residency started at the Villa. We were very nearly bankrupt, and I thought, if someone is willing to pay to bring artists from Germany, we are certainly going to get them the rest of the way to our campus for our students. And so we formed a relationship. We didn't have any money to pay them with. We hardly had any money to pay our faculty with. But the photographers needed dark rooms, and we had dark rooms. The composers needed musicians to perform their music, and we had musicians. So we formed in retrospect, it was totally selfish, but it was a wonderful way to build a link, because it wasn't just administration to administration, it was faculty artists to the artists at the Villa. And that, over time, fundamentally changed the nature of our college.
All in all, literature in Exile has stood the test fairly well. When the tide has passed and when we can again weigh with accurate balance what is good, what is not, posterity will find that among the works of this period, those composed in exile will not be light in the scales.
I do not believe that the arts have become obsolete. I would also hope that there will never be a time when that is a very, if you don't mind me saying, when that's a serious question. I think that we have been through difficult times in Germany, and sometimes some people feel them more than others. Some people have been feeling this level of threat for a longer time that has now become apparent for many more people. But there has always been art throughout that, and even if it was people writing poetry for themselves and hiding it and passing it to each other, or drawing or writing songs, art is always a refuge for people who perhaps have not got otherwise access to power, but they feel that they would like to be able to express their opinions and thoughts and emotions on any given state of affairs. So I believe that there will always be art, and because I believe there will always be art, and it will always be relevant, and it will always express pain, but it will also express hope and have like a vision of what the future could be. I think there will always be people who support those artists, and for that